Hello everyone and welcome back to Untamed Chaos. So in the last episode I didn't get to tinker with stuff and said I would do it for sure this episode, and I do have it all prepared. I have a ton of notes and yeah, or at least most of it's prepared over there. Have a lot of notes. There's a lot of things I want to do, not just upgrading new tools or upgrading old tools, but also making new tools. Got that a bit mixed up there. But before I get into that, there's a couple things I want to mention. The first is that recently, a few days ago, I was editing the last couple episodes, like the Blood Magic one and the one on Friday, the Tower Power one, whatever you want to call it. So I was editing them recently. I'm really happy with how they turned out, the length and everything. And, in the last episode, I did mention I was a bit worried about the length, because in the recording, or on my little timer, it was 40 minutes. But after editing, it turned out to only be 25 minutes, which is what I'm aiming for now. With, the episodes are a lot more shorter, a bit more focused, but I don't know, I'm just really enjoying or really like how the episodes came out, and it's a lot easier for me just to prepare a single thing per episode and do it like that. So, yeah. So hopefully everyone watching is enjoying the shorter episodes, more focused format, whatever you want to call it, as much as I am. So, yeah, but besides that, I also want to mention a few things I was preparing off camera. Since the last episode, I did get a whole bunch of stuff ready in addition to the Tinker stuff and the stuff for the next two episodes. But yeah, the main thing you will see out here, I have Emerald Glass. Now the thing is, now with the tower being more of a thing, I was worried like if a creeper jumped down here and walked in the portal or something like that, then when I go through, boom. So I decided to make some more Emerald Glass. I ended up dying in the process, though, and it's kind of funny. It wasn't because I was too slow to craft it. I was 2 glass short of making 2, and I made 2 unstable ingots, and then it was like 1 glass short, and it's just like, crap. So, yeah, but I have more other glass. I also did use the new altar with its automation, or the rituals, and filled my blood network, my soul network back up. And I also did something that I was considering last episode but didn't, which is adding the glowstone around here. I don't know, I just wanted to kind of add glowstone just to brighten up the place and not have to rely on torches as much. And if we come down here, I did renovate this to look a bit nicer, also put some glowstone down here. So I don't know, it's more of like an underside to the altar for the ritual stuff and not just like fill in the hole. I could fill in more of this, but I don't know, it works how it is, and I don't think adding blocks would mess up the ritual, but I just don't want to take any chances. Anyway, I don't want to make this take too long, and actually run out of time for Tinker stuff, or not get it all in, so, yeah, the other thing, I did some more stuff in the tower. Pretty much I wired the tower like I said I would. I also did finish the Thaumcraft rooms, which you'll see in the next episode. And, I also visited the Slime Island to get some of the stuff for this episode, and I am charging energy cubes up here, or this energy cube up here, and that's another thing I'll deal with more in a future episode. So, yeah, or another episode this week. And in the last episode, I was kind of rambling a bit when talking about the energy cell, place your bets on how much energy we'll have sort of thing, but I will be checking them on this Friday's episode, so if you want to revise your bet at all, yeah, you can do that now. But pretty much, I wired the tower, I built the Thaumcraft rooms, and I'm going to do Thaumcraft stuff in the next episode. So how much power do you think it will have by Friday's episode? Let me know in the comments and we'll see who is right. I already know how much power I'm getting, how quickly, so I kind of have a good guess at how much it would be. I just don't know how much time I spent there myself, but I'll also reveal that in the Friday episode. So, yeah. Anyway, so for this episode, I want to do Tinker stuff. As you can see, I have, I upgraded this chest just because I couldn't fit all the stuff, but I have everything laid out here. I have a whole list of upgrades I want to do to these tools and these tools, and yeah. So let's start with the hammer. Now, the hammer here is pretty good. It's a full steel hammer, and it could be a bit better though, and it does have a few modifiers. So I went over all the different modifiers and what I could do, and I decided the first thing I want to do is give it a thaumium rod. Now the reason for this, the plates and the head affect its mining speed. So I don't want to mess with them for right now, and I don't really want to make them cobalt or manulin, just because I don't have a lot of that, and steel works good. Steel works good enough. And yeah, so I just want to upgrade the rod for now. So I do have my thaumium here, and I think this would be the one I use because thaumium is a softer metal. So, yeah. Okay, so I got the thaumium rod, and I think it does need to be full durability to do that. Or actually, no, it already is full durability. It has the flux. My bad. So if I do that, I should be able to replace its rod with thaumium, which will give it an extra modifier. But it also does lower actually doesn't seem as slowing its durability. All right, Thaumium actually does have the same durability modifier as steel. It just doesn't have reinforced. So this one, oh, it has the same reinforced because the other parts are steel and steel doesn't stack. So pretty much it's just a better version now. It didn't really lose anything doing that. So that was the first thing. The other thing, I have these modifiers at the Nether Stars, the Black of Gold, or the Black of Gold and Diamond one, and then the Black of Diamond and Notch Apple. I only have one Notch Apple, and I don't have a lot of diamonds, so I'm not using this one on any right now. I just have it here so I could check and see which ones used it already. I don't think any did. So to get a bit more modifiers, I want to use this to upgrade its modifiers. So now if I put this in here, it has 3 modifiers, but the Nether Star, it has 4, and do this, and it has 5. So now we have 5 modifiers to upgrade this hammer with, and it's almost maxed here. Once it hits Grandmaster, or pretty much you see the skill experience there. I haven't talked about this in a while, so I'm just going to recap a bit. But once I get that much experience, I get 1 per block mines, and it mines, well, 9 because it's a hammer, or can mine up to 9 per swing. Anyway, once I get that experience up, it'll hit its final tier Grandmaster and get 1 more modifier. So it already has all its random modifiers. The only modifiers it has on it now are the 3 random modifiers, which are all redstone, thankfully, and flux for recharging it. So for the other modifiers, I decided I want to add lapis, and the reason is, while I do like having this as a fortune pickaxe with the luck, I don't know, it's just as easy for the hammer, so if I'm like strip mining or such, I don't have to worry about, in case this does mine diamonds, I could just go straight through and not have to worry about, quickly switching to this sort of thing. So pretty much the reason I'm going with lapis is there's not much more I really have to upgrade it with. So yeah, so I put lapis on here. I think I can just do like this, and I should have enough lapis, so I can't shift click it in there like the other one. So now I just upgrade it like this, and yeah, we're gonna have pretty much Fortune 3. Currently it's at Fortune... Oh, it also gets looting. That's really cool, because the hammer does count as a weapon. See, at the bottom, under the attack damage here, this one only has Fortune 3, because it's a tool. But this is also considered a weapon. So, yeah, it actually gets looting, looting and Fortune. So, I don't know, that's pretty cool. I didn't know it'd actually do that. Okay, so now we need 2. So now it's maxed out on lapis. I can't add any more if I try, and it has both looting and fortune. So if I did want to hit a mob with this, it would get looting as well. So that's pretty good. And now I have 4 more remaining modifiers, and the only one I really want to do now is max speed with redstone, because, I mean, it's a hammer. Faster is good, so I can just strip mine really fast. I don't see much of a consequence to doing this. I'm sure there are consequences to doing this. Let's see. I think it was 4. Yeah, 4 and then 5. So let me get this. How about I just cut to when I added all the redstone? Because I'm just going to max out all its modifiers remaining with redstone. So yeah. Okay, so the hammer now has all its modifiers used, maxed out on redstone, and I forgot to check before I started applying the redstone what mining speed it is, but now it's nearly 30. Now, I did check, and this is 44, but this also only mines 1 block at a time. So I guess the only way to really test this is to start mining. Where can I punch a hole in my wall? Because I don't want to go down to the mines. Huh. Oh, that's actually under the Tinker stuff, and I think 1 block did fall down there. So, yeah, it mines pretty fast now. It should be a lot better for strip mining, and it also gets the fortune. So, yeah, this is a bit awkward. Yeah, I lost a few blocks there. Let me go get them and fill this in, then we'll get back to making the next tool. Okay, so I repaired that small hole in the wall, and now I'm back. So the hammer is now fully upgraded. I think I'll just leave it in my inventory for now, so I don't get confused with the other ones. But now it has the fortune and the haste, and all its modifiers. It still will get 2 more in case there is anything else I wanted to add. I just didn't know what else to add besides redstone and fortune, really. So yeah, but it will get 1 more from leveling up, and I can also put this modifier on it later. So there are still rooms to add other things if I do want to add anything else, that is. And yeah, so the next tool on the list is the Cleaver here. So the Cleaver has a steel tough rod, a thaumium tough rod, a steel plate, and a steel sword blade. Now, I decided I didn't want to add manulin to it again, or like I did with the hammer. I don't really want to waste my manulin on it right now. It has enough attack damage for what I use it for, and while it would be better if it was manulin, I just really don't want to use up my manulin. Actually, let's just go check. I probably do have a lot. But I don't know, I just want to save it because, yeah, I could make a lot with that. But I don't know, I just want to save it for when I really need it. And the cleaver really doesn't need to have a manual blade. But there is something I would like it to have. And yeah, so if I come here, I actually think it's this, paper. Now, the only problem here is I'm not sure how I say which part to replace. Oh, I actually need 8. I'm stupid. I only put 3 in. But yeah, so the first thing I want to do is upgrade with paper. So we get one more modifier because I can have both a thaumium rod and a paper rod. And just like with the hammer, it won't take away from its damage or its speed because the plate and the sword blade are all of its damage. So this will make it less durability. But since it only repairs with steel and I don't use it that often, I'm not concerned about durability, but I do want its beheading chance up. So, yeah. So if I come in here, let's see if I can get the right one. Okay, so this... Oh, I think... Oh, there we go. If I put it there on the first one, it does paper. If I put it there on the second one, it would replace the thaumium. So pretty much that one would just lower its durability. That one lowers its durability and gets the other modifier because it only replaces the steel rod. So let's just do that. Also, sorry if you can hear that. It sounds like a plane's flying overhead. It's weird because I record late at night now, so there are less sounds, yet still stuff like that and the car alarm the other time. I don't know. But already recording and I don't want to, or I can't really go back and redo that after it flies over, so let's just keep going. So I got the paper rod on there. Now the other thing I wanted to do was add this modifier and another star to it, and then we're going to max out its beheading, because that's the main thing I use this for. I use it for getting wither skulls. I did nerf the beheading rate, so the 50% chance it says there is incorrect, because it doesn't account for the tweaks I did, but still this will have a very high beheading chance. So let's just put that there, and that there. So now I think it's like this. So now we have beheading 4, 5, and 6. Now, if I didn't nerf it, this would now have an 80% chance to behead. You can see why I nerfed it now, because you can get beheading much higher than that too. I'm not even done modifying it. It still has, let's see, I forget, I think it does get like 2 more modifiers from level up. I know it still has 1 more random modifier, so I think it gets at least 1 more modifier from level up, probably 2. I forget what the tiers are. I only remember like the start and the end. I forget where Adept is. So it does get more modifiers from leveling up, and I still have this upgrade as well. So I can at least get it 2 more tiers of beheading, which would be a 100% chance if this was, you know, not nerfed. But I think it is at least like half what it says, around 40% chance or so, which is still pretty high, I'd say. So, yeah. So those are the first 2 tools down, and I'm just starting on this list. You see why I decided to give this its own episode, because to really know what I want to upgrade and deal with everything at once, it really needs its own episode. Next, we have my pickaxe here, which does need to be repaired, I think, because this does not have flux at the moment. Okay, so let me just go grab a steel real quick so I can repair that. But yeah, this is the axe, or not the axe, the pickaxe. My, it's the Silk Touch pickaxe. That's the word I'm looking for. That was just so hard for some reason. So now if I just repair this to full. Okay, so this pickaxe has a steel head, paper binding, thaumium rod. It's all good besides the head. I can make it better, pretty much. So in here, I do have some stuff prepared, and I did have cobalt in here even before I started this episode, or before I even prepared stuff, I had some cobalt left over. So if I get this, and put this here, and do that, it will give me a cobalt pickaxe head. Now, cobalt is actually better than monulin for picks. I actually was looking up some jetpack stuff. Actually, I was looking into the jet plate for a future episode, if you were wondering. I forgot to take that off. So, yeah. Okay, here's the cobalt one. It has low durability with 14 mining speed. Monulin has higher durability but lower mining speed. So, cobalt, I believe, is one of the best. Shiny is also very good. But cobalt's pretty much the best I need for right now. I actually don't know what dense does on shiny. It might actually just be better, but I don't know. I never really played much with shiny, and I like saving that stuff for making endurium, because that's what it's used for. And I'm not sure if I need this for anything else, but yeah, pretty much this will make it faster. So I put this here. Actually, let's do it in the Tinker table so we can see the stat difference. So now it has a mining speed of 22, and if I put that there, it has mining speed of 26, and its durability will go up as well. So now it's going to be pretty much on par with this. That's the word I'm looking for. I was thinking on tier, but that wasn't right. So yeah. In addition to that, I I actually don't have any other modifiers I really want to give it besides Flux. I made some more redstone capacitors, the same tier as this, for 4 million RF, I think it is. It doesn't, yeah, 4 million RF. This one doesn't really say in the tooltip, but yeah, 4 million RF. So now if I put this on here, I think it only takes one modifier. Oh, it does take two. Okay, I know I said this would be the big Tinkerers episode and I do a bunch of stuff. I'm actually holding off on that because I'm not sure how this works and I might be changing it around because in the update, I know they changed more of the RF stuff and I currently have it set to take 2 modifiers. I think when I did these tools, I only set to do 1 and they only use one of their modifiers. So I don't want to put this on here now and I use 2, then I change it and it just lost a modifier sort of thing that wouldn't have lost otherwise. So for the moment, I'm holding off on this, but I'm not really using these tools right now, so I'm not sure where just to set this. I don't really have like a chest just to put stuff in. So I don't know. Let me just take out these parts. Oh, I had a paper tough rod already. Whoops. But let me just take this stuff out and I'll put this up here just so I know that I wanted to add that to it. And off camera, I'll try and check with the configs and work that out because it's something I did want to get done or look into before the next official release of the mod pack. So yeah. But I don't know. I just don't want to upgrade now and waste a modifier. But Flux was the only thing I really could think to put on here because I don't want to give it speed because with Silk Touch, precision can be more of a thing you want than speed because you want to be careful and, you know, get certain blocks with it. So, I don't know. I don't think haste is really that beneficial, or at least I can't think of when it would really be that great. And it already has a lot of haste from its random modifier, so I just don't know what else to really give it. So, if you have any suggestions for what else could put on it besides Flux, let me know. And for the moment, that will just be sitting there. Okay, so next on the list, I have my longsword and shuriken here. So pretty much both of these should already have this modifier. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for these because I already upgraded them with that because I want to max out their damage. But I haven't used another star on them yet. So this has no modifiers, but I put that there. It now has 1. And this also has no modifiers, but if I put that there, it has 1. So now I can put even more damage on these with quartz, and we can see how strong I can make them. So if I put the longsword in here, how much quartz do you need? Let's see. I think it's like that, and then a few more. Yeah, I think it's like... Nope, I was wrong. It was still another whole thing. So, okay. And once again, I forgot to compare the before and after damage. Darn it. So, now it's at 12 hearts of damage, 24. I think it was 22 before. So, okay. So I think it was 22 before, now it's at 24, which is about as strong as swords can get in Tinkerers. I know I put Flux on there. Smite, Beheading, and Bane were from, what's the word I'm looking for? From random modifiers. I put Flux and Lapis, but besides that, it's max damage. And it still gets 1 more modifier when it turns Grandmaster, and it also will get this modifier. So I can put even more quartz and get it to at least 28 damage, I think. So that's pretty strong. This one I am checking beforehand. This is, let's see, 7.5 hearts of damage, 4.5 max attack. So now I can put more on here. I think these use less than weapons or swords. So I'm not looking at the damage. Okay. There we go. That's now maxed out. And now this is 9 and 17. That is a 1.5 attack damage increase. So for a thrown weapon, that is very good. And it still has the auto repair. I could also up its auto repair if I wanted them to come back faster, but I don't use them that often. And it still does have 1 more random modifier and 1 more modifier when it hits Grandmaster, as well as this modifier like the sword has. So those are upgraded now. And now I want to upgrade these. Because, yeah. So I actually wasn't going over the parts of the last few tools. I did for this one. This is Manualin, Blade, Thaumium Rod, Paper Guard. Pretty much the best it can be for max modifiers and damage. This is just all Manualin. So these are just steel. Now I could give them a Thaumium Rod too. I didn't have it in my notes to do that. But I think I'm just going to do that because I forgot Thaumium's the same as steel until I started recording this anyway and remembered because they're both 1.5x or 1... You know what I mean. They're both the same, so put that there, that there. Got another Thaumium shard. Okay, so now if I upgrade these to Thaumium, oh, I need to fully repair them first. A little bit of a waste because they have auto repair, but I don't want to wait around for them. That really just go back in the stack first. Okay, So now if I click on this again, it currently has 4 modifiers. If I put that there, it has 5 modifiers, and it has the exact same durability. You can't really see due to the very large tooltip. How about there? Yeah, durability is the same, just gets a modifier. And the same is true for this one. That was backwards. So it just gets 1 more modifier. That's all it does. So now these are slightly better than they were before because I replaced the part there. And let me just get off that in case I accidentally throw one. So what I want to add to them is moss and redstone. I want to make these repair faster and I want them to mine faster because, I don't know, that's all these tools are for me really. Just very quick tools. So I want to add 2 more moss to each of them. And where did that moss go? There we go. It just kind of flew out there and I was a bit worried. So now it has moss 1. Now it has moss 2. And I can't do more than 1 at a time. So 2 and 3. Can I go 4? It can, but I think moss 4 is a bit overkill. It's just moss 1 is a bit slow at times. And that is also not correct. But moss 1 can be a bit slow at times. So I thought giving it moss 2. But because I really don't need that much redstone, I was like, why not just make it moss 3? So these tools should automatically repair themselves much quicker now. And yeah, I think the random modifiers were 1 moss and 3 redstone. And since I wanted them to have moss anyway, that's not a bad thing. Because I already had moss as the random modifier. It really isn't working, then flux. If I do want to make better tools later on, I could give them flux and then make it like max redstone. Like, actually, I think that's a better example. You know, this was max redstone and I had silk touch to it. So if I did really want, I could get a tool where it's, you know, all redstone as its random modifier and then add flux to it and then max out redstone with all its modifiers. But for the moment, this is good. I think these can still get all of these. It's just they really don't need them. Like, they will be fast enough without having the extra modifiers once I fill its last 2, is it? 3. See? It would have been 2 if I didn't add the thaumium rod, but I decided just to do that on a spur of the moment kind of thing. So, yeah. But just like I did before, let's actually compare now. These are 19 speed. Okay, so like I did before, I'm going to cut until I have all the redstone on, so see you then. Okay, so before I added the redstone to these tools, they were 19 speed, and now they are both 40. So that is a lot faster. They're actually as fast as this now, I think. Yeah, they have the same amount of redstone. This is just a bit faster because it's cobalt. If I wanted to, I could make these cobalt heads as well, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried because even though they have auto repair, it might not keep up with repairing them if I use them a lot. So I do like the ability just to repair them with steel. But I don't know, I could make them cobalt heads in the future, or, you know, the cobalt shovel head and axe head. But for the moment, I think that's good. And with that, I have refilled my tool belt of all the stuff that was on it. I put that stuff back on there earlier for inventory space. So yeah. And I think that covers upgrading my old tools, so now we move on to making new tools. And once again, my recording's running a bit long, but I'm just going to trust that it isn't over like 30 minutes already, because I know I have done a lot of cuts. So actually, let me cut once again to get stuff ready, and we'll start making 2 new tools, a lumber axe and a crossbow. Okay, so the first tool I want to make is the lumber axe. So what a lumber axe does is it will cut down the entire tree, kind of like tree capitator or those kind of mods, or even vein miner a bit. So pretty much it will cut down the entire tree or 3x3 area of wood. And yeah, it's just a lot more convenient because currently I have to cut down every single block. Actually, off camera, I did have to collect some more great wood, so I had to cut down every single block of the great wood tree with that, which is why I had some damage. So now the steel is on the bottom, so I have to do that. I'll get the axe head. I already have this prepared to make a tough rod and a binding, and that's still going, really? Well, oh, I can actually see how filled it is. Huh, I didn't know it did that. So, yeah, so now we can see there, it's slowly filling up with molten steel and is listing it twice. I might need to look into that in Wally. I'll make a note while editing, hopefully. I'm usually pretty good at doing that. Okay, so now I have both these, and I can put this back here and back here. And I probably should have done that between a cut. But okay, now if I go here and put that there. Now this would be pretty high durability, and it has 3 modifiers because it starts with 1, and I made it with this for 1 more and this for 1 more. So this is a pretty good tool. Once again, I could have made this with like cobalt, but once again, I didn't want to spend the cobalt on it. So now we have a steel lumber axe, and yeah. Now I do want to upgrade it with a few things. The first is I want to give it the block of diamond. or the block of gold and diamond for a modifier, and the nether star for a modifier. Now, I did plan to give it, lag spike there. I did plan to give it flux, but once again, I want to hold off on flux. Flux. Made a little bit of a sound there when saying that. But I do want to give it redstone. Now, I was going to give it redstone 4, but just in case I do decide to make flux require 2 modifiers, I'm going to only give it redstone 3 now, so I can add the flux to it. So, yeah. So, like before, I'm going to cut, and then when I have 3 modifiers of redstone on here, I'll cut back. Currently, it's mining speed 4, so, yeah. Okay, so I put the 3 modifiers worth of flux on it, and it went from 4 to 11.2, which, well, it isn't as fast as the other tools because, once again, it cuts more, so it's a bit slower there. But, yeah, it's off to a good start, and once again, I'll see about off-camera about getting the flux on there, or probably before next week, so I won't do it later in this week because I like to record these back to back, but I will look into that and get that sorted out. So either off camera in another episode, I can put the flux on there. So yeah, now let me prepare the stuff so we can make the crossbow and its bolts. And yeah, from what I've seen, those are pretty powerful. Okay, so I think I have everything prepared to make the crossbow here. The first thing I need is a bowstring. I think it's the same for bows and crossbows, so I can just put that back there. And there are some other variants like magic string from a Thaumcraft fabric, I think. But for the moment, I'm just doing this because I can always upgrade these parts. So just keep that in mind as I'm making these new tools. I can upgrade the parts later. I did some research and try to find the best parts. Paper bonding next for the extra modifier there. But yeah, I can always upgrade them later. But did that backwards, but for the moment, this is what I'm going with. Now, a thaumium body. Now, I looked into this, and for crossbows, they have the modifiers down here, it looks like. Or, I don't know, it was a bit weird. Or is that the top and that the bottom? I don't know. And blue slime. That isn't working. I think I do need a slime crystal for this. I don't know how else to craft this, so let me do that real quick. But from what I read, a blue slime, a limb, and a thaumium body is like the best way to go about it. Oh, this might be a bit of a... Oh, it's here, and where's my sand? This is a bit of a problem, because my sorting system is still broken. I did add a few more chests here to try and fix it. Air quotes there with fix it. I mainly try to get the stuff out of this chest, so I do pump stuff in. It won't mess it up too much, or... I don't know if I have sand or where it is. I might have just be passing it here, but I need sand to make the slime crystal. Because if I look here, let's just search slime crystal. There we go. I think this is needed to make it. I need slime mud for that, and that needs that. And, oh, I also should check how much I need. Because it'll need that many crystals, I think. So to make this, I need 4. So I'll need 4 slime crystals. So let me just go get some sand real quick and make that. Okay, so I went and got some sand, and yeah, the new shovel's really fast. Might be a bit too fast, but I got the sand, I made the slime crystals, and now I can make the slime limbs. So pretty much from what I read, these are one of the best limbs. It has a good amount of arrow speed, durability, and draw speed. Draw speed's the main thing I'm looking for here, and this is good because it also has a pretty low draw speed with a good arrow speed. I think the arrow speed, or I think it may be the weight that impacts damage. Either way, from what I read, that's like one of the best crossbows you can make, or it's a good starting one anyway. So I can always upgrade it later, but if I put this in here like this, it should make me a crossbow. There we go. It has 3 modifiers because I used the paper and thaumium to start off. It has a pretty good draw speed, a pretty good arrow speed, not that good of damage though. But the damage doesn't come from this, it comes from the bolts. At the moment, I shouldn't even be able to fire this, but I did want to check about its upgrades. The one I want to see is, can I put flux on? Yes, I can. Now, like the other tools, I'm not going to put flux on this for the moment because I don't want to mess it up, but I do want to add those to get its extra modifiers, and I do want to add some redstone. So I would add 4 redstone and flux, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep flux at 2, so once again, I'm going to add 3 redstone, then I'm going to come back and make the bolts. Okay, so I upgraded the crossbow here, and now it went from about 2-second draw speed to under a second, so that's really fast. Once I sort out the flux thing, I can add even more redstone to get even quicker a draw speed, so pretty much this will fire really fast, and if I do get flux on it, or when I do get flux on it, it will recharge with redstone, or RF, instead of needing to recharge with slime. I think it's dominant. Yeah, repair material blue slime, so I won't need to use blue slime, although that's not that hard to get anyway, and I'm not sure how to make bolts. I know I need a fletching. I can't find a bolt core pattern though. I'm not sure how to make that because if you look in here, it says a bolt core and a fletching. And it shows that icon, but I cannot find a pattern for it. I went over here and checked and I do not see anyone, so let's hope it works with a rod. If not, I have a spare Thaumium rod. And pretty much I went with the Thaumium and Slime Leaf. Slime Leaf has the Jagged modifier, which ups damage when it's lower. So when I'm starting to run out of ammo, it will do more damage. Has pretty good durability, low break chance, and high accuracy. And once again, I can always swap these parts out later. And yeah, so I just don't know. I think for arrows, it is just a stick. So hopefully it's the same for this. It is not. Okay, so I have no idea how to make the bolts. And that's a bit of a disappointment. I was going to put moss, or I don't think it can take flux for its modifier for bolts, because that would be overpowered, because then I could just instantly recharge. Like, I couldn't do it with shurikens, I believe. And now I was going to put the modifiers on and give it max quartz. So 1 repair and max out quartz, kind of like I did with this pretty much. But I don't know how to make it. Let me just search bolt core real quick, because yeah, if I search bolt, you see this, but I do not know the pattern for it. There is no bolt pattern, and I am not sure how to make these. And maybe it's only in villages or something, because I know there are some patterns like that. Let's search core. I'm just not seeing the pattern, and I do not know how to make that. So if you do know how to make it, let me know down in the comments. But I think, unfortunately, I will have to end this episode here because, well, it's running a bit long on my recording side. Really long, like 50 minutes long. That's how much I've been doing off camera, applying that redstone. So, yeah, but yeah, I think I'm just going to end it here. In a future episode, we can come back and do more Tinker stuff, like naming the tools. That was something else I wanted to do. But I don't know how to make the bolts. I'll have to look that up. Let me know in the comments if you know, or I'll just look it up. And hopefully next week we can return and do more Tinker stuff. But for now, that's going to be it. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this episode and enjoyed upgrading the tools. We at least got to make the lumber axe, which is also in here. And we made the crossbow. I just don't have a bolt to fire it. But in the next time I do Tinker stuff, and probably some other stuff as well, because I don't have that much more Tinker stuff, I also have all these other tools I can work at. But I don't know, and the next time, hopefully I'll be able to finish off the crossbow, and yeah, then we can also maybe test out some more of the tools, or do some other stuff, maybe even make some of that cobalt heads for the tools I was a bit hesitant to make this time, so yeah. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Untamed and the long-awaited Tinkerer stuff. Sorry I wasn't able to get to it all this time, but yeah, I just actually didn't prepare that well, apparently. But yeah, anyway, until next time, goodbye.